it's nice, I think, to prepare your language or your grammar explanations and use examples taken from Amazon to make it more visual and to make it more contextualized and to let students see what you're going on about. So let me give you an example of a language explanation. Okay, let's start with standard English word order. Under normal circumstances, we have the subject, which is the I in this case, pronoun first person singular, followed by am. I am, subject and verb. And you all know that. I know you know that. If we want to create a question, these two words switch places, don't they? And we can put a question word in front of it. So I am becomes am I. And we can have who am I. And turns out that you're a frog. So if you don't want to know you're a frog, don't read this book. That's what I say. However, there is another type of structure here illustrated by this book, which is who I am. Now, Andy said WH questions without did, and we're kind of getting there without a subject. These are what we refer to as WH clauses. WH clauses, not to be confused with W.H. Auden, who was a poet, or W.H. Smith, which is a stationery chain in the UK. These are WH clauses. Have you ever noticed that, these so-called question words, talking about how, why, where, when, which, etc., they're called question words, but they're not always involved in questions. And that's exactly what you're looking at here. Who I am, that is not a question, as demonstrated by the fact that there is no question mark after it, nor is there any inversion here. It's more like it's a clause. And we can maybe clauses are like little phrases that can insert themselves into more complex structures, more complex sentences, more complex questions. So if we look at some examples here, that who I am, let's retain it. Let's keep those three words and just move through some more examples. This is the so-called indirect question. Do you know who I am? A question that you'll ask people, implying that you are somebody important. But I don't think that's what this book is about. Here's some more. I am who I am, something that I think maybe Popeye, remember Popeye the Sailor Man said, I am who I am. Here we've got guess who I am, which could also become another indirect question. Can you guess who I am? And we've got tell me who I am. We talk about indirect questions. It's a great example of course books and course grammars focusing on one type of structure which contains these WH clauses, but there are so many more different types of structures that involve this. I mean, that previous one, guess who I am, and can you guess who I am? They both involve WH clauses. And tell me who I am, love me for who I am, even if I'm a frog. And don't you know who I am? Don't you know who I am? Which is similar to do you know who I am, I suppose, really. So this is what we're looking at here. This is how to prepare our grammar explanations or clarification slots using good examples, nice, engaging, memorable, visually enhanced examples of English to illustrate the points, book cover images from Amazon.